Assalamu alaikum guys, this is me Muhammad Kamar. Welcome back to my channel after so many days, at least after a week. I came back to this challenge which we have taken for at least this is our challenge of at least 3 years. And yeah, after so many days I'm going to make it a continue. And last time we have done the day 18, and this we have done at least a week ago, and today is our day 19. Finally we have done so far to the Python dictionaries, and here you can see I have opened the machine learning folder which I have made here. And I have opened the W3 schools website from where we are learning Python. Today is our day 19, and today we are going to learn the Python if else section. So yeah, if you don't know about the challenge, you can watch my previous videos and get to know what is this challenge about, what we are going to do in this challenge. So without wasting our time, we are going to just start the video. And from here, my GitHub profile, you can, and from this repository Python by Muhammad Kamar, you can access to the every code that I have written so far. Here you can see to the 58. I guess I have not uploaded the dictionaries folder here, but I will upload them also, so you can get access to these files. Okay, you can use these files for your own purpose, or you can also compare your own code to my code. Yeah, so that's it. I am actually using the numbers with it, so that will be easy for you. That will be more easy or convenient for you to access the files. Okay, so today is our day 19. I am going to first of all make the day 19th folder, and inside this folder here you can see the nested dictionaries we have done last time, and it is the file number 58. So I am going to make the file 59. Before making it, I am going to just make sure to copy the name of the file, which is here, Python if else section. So here you can see as these arrows, these arrows means that each section have more sections, but from here onward you can see that there is no arrow, so these are simple one and one file. So we can done it more easily, and you can say that we have done the basics of Python, and now we are gradually going towards the advanced stuff of the Python. Yeah, so I have copied the Python if else section name, and I guess as there are spaces in between, so we have to make sure to make it by ourselves. This is the file I'm going to make is 59, so 59, and then I am going to use the underscore. Why I'm using the underscore? So for the reasons, you can watch my previous videos. I have already talked so much about these things. Okay, so today is Python if else section. Okay, and .py for the Python extension. Yeah, so here you can see we have opened it. I am going to just hide the explorer section, and then use the subject here as usual we do. Subject of this is Python if else section, and then I'm going to use the author name. We done it every time whenever we write the code, and what is the reason behind it I have already told you so many times, so I'm not going to talk any more about it. Today is 14th August, okay, and 2025. Make it comment. You can comment it by selecting it, and then by pressing the control and forward slash you can comment and uncomment it using that. Okay, and then I'm going to make another comment as Python if else. Then let's go and read and learn what is they are teaching here in this tutorial. Okay, so Python conditions and if statements. Python supports the usual logical condition from mathematics. Okay, equals, for equals we use the double equal sign, and then for not equals we use the exclamation mark and then the equal mark. And so this means that a is equals to b, this means that a is not equals to b. For less than we use the usual less than sign, which means here that a is less than b. This means that a is less than or equals to b. This means that a is greater than b, and this means that a is greater or equal to b. Okay, these conditions can be used in several ways. We can use these conditions in different ways, most commonly in if statements and loops. So mostly we use these statements in if else statements or in loops. So here we are talking about if else statements, so we will just learn about it. And if statement is written by using if keyword. So this if is a keyword. We have to use first of all this and then the condition we want to check. And yeah, so here if statement we are using, first of all we have a variable a inside which we are storing the value 33. So I am going to make it as a copy and then paste here, then make another variable b and place the value of 54. Let's suppose 54 inside it. And okay, they are storing 200 but we are storing 54. Then using the if keyword and then using the logic, any logic I want to apply here, and then using the print statement. If it is true, then print this. Okay, so let's check out what we are going to get. First of all, we have to write the if keyword and then I'm going to use the logic. So here I'm using the logic. If b is greater than a, then I am going to use the colon and enter so that it will indent the 4 spaces here. And then I'm going to, if it is true, then print yes, b is greater than a. Okay, and if it is not true, it will not going to be print out this statement. But it is true here. You can see b is greater than a. 54 is greater than 33, so it should print that yes, Python, yes, b is greater than a. Okay, so let's suppose I am reversing it. I am saying that a is greater than b, which is not true, so it should not print anything. Here you can see the file has executed and you cannot see any output here. This means that this line is not executing because of this statement or this condition is not true. So as it is not true, that's why this is not executing. Also, you got the point. I'm going to clear this terminal and let's continue the tutorial. So in this example, we use two variables a and b, which are used as a part of if statement to test whether b is greater than a. As a is 33 and b is 200, and in our case b was 54, so we know that 54, as we are referring to our own example, 54 is greater than 33, and so we print to screen that b is greater than a, and we have printed that yes, b is greater than a, which we have already done. Hope so you got the point. Indentation, what it means by indentation. Indentation, Python relies on indentation. Indentation means white spaces at the beginning of a line, which I have told you here that this is means indentation, the 4 spaces. You can use 1 space or you can use as many spaces as you like, but usually the Python for conveniency or as it is convenient to use the 4 spaces. That's why as I am just using the colon and pressing the enter, and it is by default giving the indentation of 4 spaces or a tab, you can say. That's why we usually use the 4 spaces. Otherwise you can use 1 space or 2 spaces or at least 1 space, and you can use maximum as much as you want, but make sure to use same spaces in each section. Okay, so to define scope, okay, so this we call the scope that I was referring the section. It is called scope here in the code. Other programming languages often uses curly brackets for this purpose. Other programming languages use the curly brackets, while in Python we use just the colon, and then as much scope you want you can use it without using any curly brackets. So yes, if statement without indentation will raise an error, you will get an error. Okay, so let's check it out. If I am, let's make it first of all a comment. it I'm going to make it a comment, right? Then I am using if b is greater than a, which is correct, which is true. Then I am using uh, indentation. By default it is giving an indentation of 4 spaces, but what if I remove this indentation? You can see here it is giving a red mark here, which means that it is having an error. But let's suppose we are not going to just give it value, and we are trying to just print what we want. Okay, I'm going to print here that b is greater than a. Here you can see that the red lines are here, and it means that uh, expected indented block, and which we are not indenting right now, and it will give us error. Here you can see if I click on the problems, it is saying that, or showing that expected indented block. So yes, let's execute it and see what we are going to get the error. Here you can see indentation error expected, and the Python is so much clever that it will tell you that what you are actually doing wrong. So it is saying that expected an indented block after if statement on line 13. So if on line 13 you can see here we are not giving the indentation, and the Python is saying or telling us that you are doing your mistake there. Here under the Python, the print statement, the print function, you can see that they are using the arrows like that, so that we get the point. And if I use 4 spaces or 1 space, if I use 1 space, you can see that the error has gone. If I use a tab, then also the error has gone. So that's how we can write our code. Okay, so then we, after if statement, we use the else statement or elif statement. So let's see what is it saying about the elif statement. The elif keyword is Python's way of saying if the previous condition was not true, then try this condition. Okay, so if the if keyword is not true, then we can use the elif, which is the short form of else if. Like if this condition is not true, then try this condition. If this condition is true, then execute this line, else this condition will also this print statement will also not going to be print out. Okay, it is saying that a is 33 and b is also 33. Let's check it out how it works. First of all, I'm going to make this as comment, this also as comment. Okay, all right. A is equals to 33 and b is also equals to 33. Let's say we are saying that if a is greater than b, which is not true, then print a is greater than b. Okay, but this condition is not true, as you can see that a is equals to b. So let's make another statement, and for this I am going to get out of the scope of this if statement and make another statement as elif. And then I am making another condition that if the above condition is not true, then try this condition, which I am going to use as a is equals to, the double equals means as equal we use in in mathematics. Okay, so a is equals to b, and then colon, and then we are defining the scope of the elif statement, and then I am saying that a is equals to b. Okay, and then I am going to run it. Here you can see that a is equals to b. It is skipping this line and just printing this line, because this is not true and this line is true. Okay, so in this example, a is equals to b, so the first condition is not true, but the elif condition is true. So we print to this to screen that a and b are equal, which we have done. Then we have the else statement. The else keyword catches anything which isn't covered by the preceding condition. Okay, so if the first condition is not true, the second condition is not true, then it will execute. If we can use the if and elif so many times, and if any of the if or elif statement is not true, these conditions, if the preceding conditions are not true, then the else will uh, execute. Okay, so we use the else statement if we want that if none of our condition is true, then we want something that must be true, and which is here we can write. So let's try it by doing it by our own in the VS Code. I'm going to make another variable as a, and it is called 33. Let's suppose it is called 31. B is equals to 33, and then I'm using the if statement. If a is greater than b, which is not true, as a is 31 and b is 33, so a is less than b, but I am trying it. So if a is greater than b, print yes, a is greater than b. And as you know that this condition is not true, I'm going to make another condition as elif a is equals to b. Then if a is not greater than b, it can be equal to b, which is not right here, but I'm just making another condition. If it is true, if this condition is true, then say that, then print out that a is equals to b. And as you know that this condition is also not true, I am making another statement, and I am not giving any condition here, so that the Python will know that as the above conditions are not true, I have to execute this line, and I'm making a new statement here that print a is less than b. Okay, as we know that there could be three conditions only: either a is greater than b, either a is equals to b, or a is less than b. There we cannot have any other condition, so that's why I'm making the third condition as else. And if I run it, you can see the print that a is less than b. That's how the Python logics work. Okay, we use these as logical statements. In this example, a is greater than b, so the first condition is not true. Also elif condition, okay, here the a is greater, but in my condition a is less, so on it here we are saying that b is greater than a. Okay, so we go to the else condition and print to screen that a is greater than b. So in the else, it is doing exactly the opposite of my conditions. Okay, I use the opposite of these conditions, but it is completely okay. You can also have an else without the elif. Yes, we can also have the else statement without any elif statement, but instead of using the elif statement, we can just use the else statement. But keep in mind that here you can see in front of elif and if statement we use a condition, but in front of the else statement we do not use any condition. Okay, it is a conditionless statement, you can say that. Shorthand if you have only one statement to execute, you can put it in the same line as the if statement. Okay, if we have a short statement, we can use just the simple, instead of giving a space, we can a new line, we can print the thing on the same line. So this is the shorthand if. Okay, so then what we can do next, shorthand if else. If you have only one statement to execute, one for if and one for else, you can put it all on the same line. Okay, print a. Okay, so we are writing the print statement before if, like it will print a if a is greater than b, else it will print b. Okay, so let's make it a try, give it a try actually. And another variable I'm making, and it is 33, and not like this, I guess. I'm going to make it as, okay, A is equals to 33 and B is equals to 43. Okay, I am saying this, I am going to make just one condition and in the one line only. If A is greater than B or less than B, let it be less than B. Okay, A is less than B, then do what? Print uh, A is less than B, and it will execute. It will not give us any error. Okay, then I am making another condition, two conditions in one line, like print A is greater than B if A is greater than B, which is not true, else A is less than B. Okay, run it. Okay, I am doing something wrong, else, and I have to use the print statement actually. Yeah, I have to use the print statement, and yes, then check it out. Okay, so A is less than B. So that is how we can use the one condition and using if else in the one line. Okay, this technique is known as ternary operators or conditional expressions. You can have, okay, so this technique is also called ternary operators or conditional expressions. Okay, you can also have multiple else statements on the same line, like 333 and 333. Print A if A is greater than B, else print else print equal if A is equal B, else print B. What it is going to do, let's check it out. I am going to make another variable here. A is equals to 330 and B is equals to 330, and then I'm going to make it as print a. Okay, let's suppose it is just printing the A for just getting the concept of this thing. What is it is going to do? Print A if A is greater than B, else print equal sign and then else. I guess I don't actually hear what is going to do. We have a one line multiple conditions. You can have multiple else statements on the same line. We are having the if else if else. Okay, instead of this we are going to use if A is equals to B. Okay, so we are saying that print this if A is equals to B. Print what? Print what? Else print what? Print the B. It is a little hard to grasp this concept actually. Okay, so it is printing the equal instead of printing the A. Okay, it is printing this as it is not true. It is printing this, but what does it means? Let's check it out. Try it yourself. We can use this by ourselves here. Okay, it is printing the same thing here. Then what does it means? And the AND operator. So for this we are going to use the ChatGPT here. Okay, and enter it. Okay, so here's how your code works step by step. A is equals to 30, and this is what we have written. Explanation: first, Python checks if A is greater than B, which we know. If true, it prints A and stops. Okay, if false, it checks A is equals to B. If true, it prints this, else, and stops. Otherwise, uh it will print the B. Okay, so it is like the elif statement. This is what I got the point here. Okay, so it is like the elif statement we are using in the one line, the else, if, elif and else statement. Okay, I got the point. Then we have the and operator. The and keyword actually is a logical operator and used to combine condition statements. We can combine many condition statements by using these logical operators and, or, and not. So we are saying that if A is greater than B, which is true, and C is greater than A, then print that both conditions are true. Okay, so these are actually the logical operators. We can use them very easily. A is equals to, suppose it is 20, B is equals to 30, and C is equals to 50. Okay, and then I am saying that if A is less than, let's suppose less than B, and B is less than C, print if this is true. If these both conditions are true, it will print this, otherwise it will not print this line. Okay, just say yes, it will just print yes. Okay, and as you know that it is true, so it is printing the yes. And we also have the or operator. We can also use the or operator. So what and do and what the or do actually, and or, two operators. Let me write it here for you. And or operators are opposite of each other. Okay. So yes, that's it. Are opposite of each other. The and checks if the whole conditions, the all the conditions that we have written here should be true, else it will not going to print this line. And the or checks if only one condition is true, it will just print that line. I'm going to make another. If A is less than B, which is true, but I am using the or operator and I am saying that B is greater than C, which is not true. I am using the print statement and saying that yes, A is less than B. Okay, and it will print this line. Just see, the above statement will print yes, and the next condition will print yes, A is less than B. And here you can see that A is less than B. So this is what it, this one is true and this condition is false, but we are using the or operator since this one condition is true. So yeah, we will consider this whole statement as true and print what we are trying to print. Okay, we have the not operator. It is called the inverter operator, or the reverse of the result condition. Okay, so and it gives, it only takes one condition, not two conditions. So I am going to make another condition here, that if A is greater than B, which is not true. Okay, I'm using the print yes again, but this time I'm going to make this line comment and this line also comment. This is not true, but I want it to print the yes. So what I can do here is that I will use the not operator, and here you can see it will print the yes here. Let's make sure to, it will not print the yes here. You can see now I am using the not operator and it will print the yes. So actually it is doing, what it is actually doing is that it is reversing this. It is checking that is A greater than B, which is not true, which is false. So what it do, the not operator reverse it. It reverse or invert the false into true. If it were true, it will be converted into false. So that's how the not operator works. Hope so you got the point. What it is saying that a not keyword is a logical operator and is used to reverse the result of the conditional statement. Okay, hope so you got the point. Nested if. What is nested if? You can have if statement inside if statement, and this is called nested if statement. Just like the nested dictionaries, we have the nested if statements. Okay, what it is saying here that x is 41, and if x is greater than 10, print above 10. Then if x is greater than 20 also, then print and also above than 20, and else print but have not above than 20. Okay, let's check it out. X equals to 40, and x is equals to 40, and then we are going to use the if condition. If x is greater than 10, print x is greater than 10. Okay, then I am using the nested if condition. If x is greater than 20, print x is also greater than 20, or if it is not true, then print else print no, x is not greater than 20. Okay, let's make the terminal clear and run it. Here you can see x is greater than 10, and then x is also greater than 20. This is how it works. Okay, hope so you got the point. Then we have the pass statement. So if the statements cannot be, if statement actually cannot be empty, but you have some reason but if you have for some reason have an if statement with no content, put in the pass statement to avoid getting error. Look, if you are making a condition and you don't know what it should uh, print out to the screen or return, you can use just the pass statement, so you will avoid the error. Okay, hope so you get the point. Yeah, so here we have the exercise section. Let's do this exercise. What will be the result of the following code? X is 5, y is 8. If x is greater than, which is not true, print hello, else welcome. X is less than actually, right? So yes, it will print the welcome. Submit this. Yes, here you can see our answer is correct. So let's see the next question. Print hello world if a is greater than b. So let's make if a is greater than b, use a colon and print, it will print the hello world. Okay, next question. Print hello world if a is not equals to what? To b. Okay, if a is not equals to b, then print hello world. Submit this. Also correct. Next question. Okay, print yes if a is equals to b, otherwise print no. Okay, if a is equals to b, if a is equals to, we use the double equals. Okay, equals to b, then print yes, otherwise, so use the else statement, no. Okay, next question. Okay, there are so many exercises here, you can see that, which is good actually. Print 1 if a is equals to b, print 2 if a is greater than b, otherwise print 3. Okay, so first of all we have to write the else statement, as it is very easy. Then use if a is equals to Okay, so make it equal, and then the colon, then elif statement, else if. Okay, else if, so we use the L and then the if, so it makes as elif. Okay, then if A is greater than B, okay, submit this answer. Answer is correct. Next question, Python if, okay, so print hello if A is equals to B and C is equals to D. So we use the AND operator here. Next question, print hello if A is equals to B or if C is equals to, so we use the or here actually. It will print hello if this is true or this is true, it will just print that. Okay, and next question, complete the code block, print yes if 5 is longer than 2. Hint, remember the indentation. Okay, first of all we have to use the indentation. We can use 1 space or 4 spaces. Okay, so I'm going to use the 4 spaces, a 1 2 3 4, and then print yes. So I'm going to use the print yes, yes, and then I'm using it in capital because they are saying that to in capital, and we know that the Python is case sensitive, right? Next question, use the correct one line shorthand syntax to print yes if A is equals to B, otherwise print no. Print yes if A is equals to B, else no. Okay, so what it is saying that actually I'm correct, but it is having so much space and I don't know why. If print yes if A is equals to B, else print no. Okay, I guess I'm correct. Yes, I'm correct. And congratulations, we have completed this exercise, and I hope so you liked the video. And if you didn't get any concept or any point you missed, you can comment down and I will make sure uh, to answer your questions. You can get the code from my GitHub repository or join me by subscribing my channel uh, in this journey. So see you in the next video. Allah Hafiz.